Skyview High School Sports is a presentation of 106.9 FM and 1390 AM The Fan and CashValleyDaily.com. Brought to you by Adams Wealth Advisors, Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, Logo Shop, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Napa Auto Parts, Old Grist Mill, Cache Valley Auto Care, Les Olson Company, ARS, DD Auto Salvage, New Horizons Beauty College, Preston Watts Collision and Glass, State Farm Agent Lana Powell, Poblanos, and CashValleyDaily.com. Now, it's time for the Skyview Bobcats on 106.9 The Fan.
Welcome to Smithfield for tonight's matchup between the Ridgeline Riverhawks and the Skyview Bobcats. I'm Jake Ellis, joined by Jason Walker here on 107.7 KLZX, video streaming on CashValleyDaily.com. Jason, what are you looking forward to in this one?
I'm looking forward to a good soccer match. These are two of the, they're both both got 3 wins, 3-2 for Ridgeline, 3-1 for Skyview. But hoping for a good game between these teams in this Ridgeline, this early region matchup.
Yeah, you're saying it right. Skyview, this will be their first region game of the season. Ridgeline already had one. They took care of Logan 6-0. The Riverhawks come into this one on a 2-game win streak with that win against Logan and then knocking off the Lakers of Bonneville.
Yeah, and 11-2 combined score in those. You said 6-0 against Logan, 5-2 against Bonneville. It's not only a 2-game win streak, but a pretty dominant 2-game win streak.
And Bonneville's a 5A team.
Yeah, so some pretty good stuff there from Ridgeline.
But then you look at Skyview, and they're coming off a win as we get started here at the kickoff, 2-0 against 6A side West Jordan. So a pretty impressive result there as well.
Yeah, so two teams that have been pretty good in boys soccer pretty consistently. And in girls soccer, too. I know girls soccer in Region 11 better than they do boys soccer the last few years. But we've had some really good soccer played here in the Valley.
A nice little challenge taken away by Skyview. They're in their black jerseys today with blue numbers. Ridgeline in the white with black numbers.
And that confused me early on because Ridgeline will sometimes wear black as well. But it was Skyview. They usually wear black a little more often than Ridgeline does.
That's a popular color now.
And it works well with both color schemes.
The ball sent out here to Parker Christensen on the right side. He'll send it up to Kyle Robinson, back to Christensen, and they'll switch the side to the far sideline.
Some good possession early from Skyview, getting away from a challenge there. Trying to advance it up, but Ridgeline kicks it out. But yeah, Skyview possessing early here. Always a good thing to possess early, give yourself a chance to settle in and get some early chances, and Skyview is certainly doing that in the first minute and a half here.
Christensen to throw it in here on the near sideline. That ball booted back by the defense. It's taken away there in the middle of the field. Now they'll drop it back and try to reset their attack here, the Bobcats. They're going to take it all the way back to the keeper, in fact. He's pressured, but puts it out to the left side.
That's always my nightmare. I played keeper all my life. Never at any real competitive level, but I was always terrified of them passing it back to me because I was never good on my feet. Hence why I played keeper.
Yeah, fair enough. A nice turn here from Yasmani Reyes. He sends it out to the left side, a deep through ball. Keeper coming up to challenge it, and he will be there in time. The Ridgeline keeper, Diego Usechi.
And Kyle Robinson trying to be on the other end of that long ball. Couldn't quite get to it. He's got a couple of goals this season. We'll see if he manages to add to his total.
Guys get tangled up a little bit there, both reaching for the ball, so referee will let them play on as Ridgeline boots one deep to the far touchline, around the 25-yard line or so, if you'll bear with us on this football field.
They're great for references. It's easier to know, how far it out was. I know some people who've done soccer, they're like soccer announcing their whole life. They can just read a field automatically, but
yeah, I'm not quite there.
No, neither of us are.
There was a nice turn, but some good help defense from the Bobcats, and it gets booted away. I think Jacob Lattin there.
And Garrett Jensen was trying to dance around, send another in.
And that's cleared out.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous ball. I get the ball to Diego Vasquez. He's got 4 goals on the season, tied for the team lead. He had it right on top of the box almost. Couldn't quite settle it for a good shot, though.
And we got a whistle. A little bit of a pull-up. We'll call it a foul there because no offside flag.
Yeah. Couldn't see around the corner. I'm sitting at see if it was a foul. I was looking to the far side official, see if it was offside, but
didn't seem like anything too malicious. Maybe just a tone-setting foul here for the center official. Here on the left side, seeing it, a long shot out off the near post. Doesn't quite hit it, but it glazed it there. Gave it enough of a thought to have the keeper dive at it.
Yeah, it was a nice one. Tate Hickman there, taking that shot, number 7. He's got a couple goals, he's got 3 assists to his 2 goals. But he certainly took a good one there. Couldn't quite get it on there. Couldn't quite get it on frame.
And the keeper for Skyview, I believe, Quaid Horman, takes the goal kick. It's one right back by Ridgeline in a dangerous spot, but they're trying to take it away. Didn't quite get full possession, and here's Ridgeline right back with it, now cleared. A dangerous spot right above the box. Luckily, Skyview staying in front there.
Yeah, really hectic scenario, but sometimes hectic scenarios can benefit the defense, and it did right there.
On the far sideline, working for some space, and ran out of it, but last touch by Skyview, so a Ridgeline throw in.
Yeah,
always on that far touch line.
They always try and work the sideline. It never seems to work as well as they hope. They just try and inch up the sideline, but then it ends up just getting kicked out of bounds over and over again. But you got to do something to try and move the ball forward.
Dax Flygear throws it in. It bounces right back to him, but it went through his legs there. Couldn't keep possession. Now Skyview trying to make an attack, but a nice takeaway there from Diego Vasquez, using some physicality.
Yeah, physicality there. Got away with the shoulder bump just enough. It was right in front of the ref. But obviously it was enough, or light enough, that the ref let him get away with it.
Back to Vasquez now. Bowen Hodder on the right side. Flygear again. He'll play it up, and it's cleared out by Skyview. No, they'll say deflected off of Ridgeline. I think Garrett Jenkins got a bit of a piece of it there, so it'll go out for the Bobcats to Flygear's dismay. Alex Nielsen throws it in for the Bobcats. It's taken away quickly by the Bobcats. Vasquez will play it back on the defensive line. Switched over to the left side of the field for Grant Ogden, but he lost it out of bounds. Skyview charging up here on the near touchline.
Yeah, pushing it up there, trying again to get to the top of the formation. Now in here, might get a cross.
Robinson sends it in, booted out by Ridgeline. They'll reset with a Skyview throw in here on the near touchline.
Yeah, it was a good push there, throwing it into Robinson, trying to get him up there. They seem to be very much targeting him with those long passes. You know, pretty popular in high school. A lot of these teams use the tactic of just throw a long ball up there, sometimes a throw in, sometimes a long pass. We've seen both so far. It works eventually sometimes.
Bobcats lost it in the middle of their attacking third, and now it's rolled all the way back down. Yeah, obviously the ball moves a lot quicker on the turf here.
Yeah, that's the thing that high school players have to get used to, because a lot of these high schools play on turf. And, yeah, that ball skips around fast as can be.
Well, most of their grass fields around here are still covered in snow.
Yeah, every bit of grass around the stadium is covered in snow.
Another far ball sent down the near touchline. Last touch by Skyview, going out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Robinson trying to get that bit of a cross in there, but couldn't get enough by there. And I don't think he had anybody in the box anyway.
No, I didn't have much help. He had soared past almost everybody except 2 Ridgeline defenders. The ball's played up to Tate Hickman. Dropped away back, and now Skyview with it, but cleared away, booted way high in the sky. Fighting for possession here near midfield. And it's Ridgeline taking this opportunity, starting a bit of a counter on the nearest touchline. Down the far left side, saved by Workman. He'll cross it into the box, headed on frame, saved.
That was a great header, unfortunately, just right to the keeper. Almost had a goal there, Diego Vasquez. But just couldn't quite do it.
Try out this little replay feature if you can see it down there.
Yeah, that was like good cross and then just, great header to put it on frame. But obviously if you hit it right at the keeper, even still it was a good reaction save from him.
Ridgeline charging again here. As they've kept possession in this half of the field, their attacking half. But Flygare runs out of real estate there.
Yeah, right as you say they were keeping possession, he went right through his foot. That happens sometimes.
One of those looking where he was going to go before he had secured the ball.
Yeah, he was looking for, who am I going to pass to? And, the ball's rolling out of bounds. But still, Ridgeline done good. They've got a couple of shots. They have one on goal. Both were decent opportunities. Just, a little more technical accuracy and maybe they could work there. They paused the game for the moment. I think there was another ball on the field. And they're just getting it off.
Yeah, that's
the
what it appears so.
The assistant referee ran about halfway onto the field. Saw him gesturing at something, then they threw a ball over to the sideline.
A throw-in is taken by Vasquez now as Ridgeline with another opportunity to attack here. Some nice footwork, but he'll have to turn back and pass it back to Hickman. Hickman in the middle of the field to the left side. Garrett Jenkins sends in the cross. It gets past the defense, but it's too far back and a roll into the snowbank behind the corner flag.
Yeah, it went through the defense. They tried to get a kick on it, but I think he missed entirely, which oddly enough was to his benefit that he completely missed because they're giving him a goal kick after it rolled over the end line. So after Skyview controlled a bit early, we've seen Ridgeline. They've got quite the potent offense, how many goals they've scored. Get a few chances. They've got 3 shots now. Counted one a second ago that was blocked from about 30 yards out, but we'll count for a shot because he was trying.
Of course, Ridgeline, the 4A state runners-up, last season fell to Crimson Cliffs in the state championship. Vasquez out to the far touchline. Ridgeline trying to get past the defense, looking for the cross. It's sent in. It's a little behind, but Jenkins gets a head on it, not on target, and a goal kick for Skyview.
And kind of just not the greatest touch with the head there. Might have nicked off his head and then maybe his shoulder even. Just couldn't get that one on frame. But we've seen some really great build-up into crosses for Ridgeline. And some good crosses, too, finding their man. Not just finding a defender. They're able to find the head of their players. Even if they've not been able to get a goal out of it, they're getting good opportunities out of it.
It's a nice little design for Skyview out of the goal kick. They got the ball way upfield, but it was just taken right back by the back line of Ridgeline, and now Vasquez controlling it to the near touch line. The left back through the legs, a nice nutmeg. Looking for his teammate, but it's cleared away, blocked by Ivan Leon.
Yeah, that was a good. It was a nice little trick shot there, putting it right through the legs for a through ball. Just didn't quite get the bounce. Bounced right to the Skyview defense.
Vasquez. That one a little too far in front of him, and a Skyview defender clears it way out. And the Bobcats pressuring on here. On the back line, it's taken away by Reyes. He's charging the far touchline, now taken away by Ridgeline again.
That was a dangerous little mistake there. The defender was trying to shield it as it went out, but then it stopped going out of bounds. And then he was stuck trying to shield the player indefinitely, which you're never going to be able to do. And so he just lost it.
Yeah, Cameron Everton, the right back there, I believe. Skyview trying to work up to their first shot on frame. They don't have one yet. That one, last touch by Reyes. They'll say Ridgeline will get the ball near their bench for a throw-in.
About 27 minutes to go here in this first half.
Still scoreless between Skyview and Ridgeline.
Nothing too exciting yet. We've had a couple of decent shots. We'll see if we get any really good opportunities here in the upcoming minutes. Ridgeline's they're a high-scoring team so far in 4A. You have to think they'll get something going. Here they got something now. Maybe.
A through ball going into the box. The shot is off target there from Tate Hickman.
Yeah, and it was a really good opportunity for you really created. Because you get a bit of a, not the best little lob pass there, but they fought through the defense. I don't know if I played the right replay on the machine.
No, I think you're good. We have to toggle it off too, is what I've been informed on.
I can't see the progress of the replay. The screen's over there.
Here's another chance for Ridgeline on the near touchline. The ball sent into the box. Still in there and finally cleared out.
That was a dangerous clear. They cleared it right to Ryan Johnson, who is one of the other players on Ridgeline, along with Vasquez, tied for the team lead in goals with 4. He got the ball about 18 yards out. Couldn't get a good first touch. He was a little surprised by it going right to him, and it had some pace on it. But yeah, not always great when you clear a ball straight to the middle of the goal box to the other team's top scorer.
No, Alex Nielsen there to recover, though, and get the secondary clear as Ridgeline resets from the throw-in. And that ball, just a miscommunication on which way they were going to go as it sails past Jenkins out of bounds for a goal kick.
Yeah, we've seen some really great build-up from Ridgeline. Skyview with some solid defense. They're not allowing too many good, great opportunities. They've not been perfect because they've allowed 1 shot on goal and a couple of other, crosses, the dangerous crosses to come in. But they've held steady so far. But that's not going to hold forever. You got to get some pressure on their defense.
The Bobcats coming off a clean sheet, so looking to keep that steady defense. Here's another opportunity for the Riverhawks. The cross to the right side, saved.
Yeah, trying for some placement there. I believe that was Ryan Johnson. And, nice little one-touch volley to try and put it low and away from the keeper, and unfortunately it went straight to the keeper. So 2 shots on goal for the Riverhawks, and both of them have been straight to the goalkeeper.
Quade Horman picking up his second save now. The ball sent from the center back up to Jenkins. Sends it out to the right side. The cross behind one, but there for Flygare. They'll fight for it going out of bounds. Last touch by...
They haven't showed any signal yet. I think they're giving goal kick now.
Well, that was the reaction of the players. So sometimes, I've refereed a few games, and when they start dropping back for a goal kick, you're like, all right, yeah, that's what we're going with, goal kick.
I couldn't see it was down in the corner, so I just tried to look at the refs, hope they'd give me something. But, yeah, not the greatest opportunity there. They did a long cross to the top of the box, and you're never going to get a header with enough pace to get a goal from that, unless you catch the keeper right on the back of his heels. So you nominally get across there, but not the greatest opportunity you were looking for.
Some high pressure from Skyview, but Ridgeline, the defensive line, is taking care of it pretty nicely here as they lose possession.
Yeah, right as you say that, you're cursing them.
Vasquez sends a deep ball, though, as the Riverhawks recover.
It was a good idea, just couldn't quite fit it through the defense, couldn't thread it there.
Leon sent it up to Hickman, cleared away by Skyview. There's Jenkins, so winning it out of the air. Here's Vasquez in the middle. Over to the right side, Johnson. Sent up through Leon. In the box, he shoots. It's off target. Just over the left 90.
Yeah, nifty little skill there, bouncing it back and forth between them and getting some good passes. They're able to find and connect passes in the attacking third and close to the box, which is really hard to do at the high school level. There are very few teams that can pull that off. Have to imagine if they keep doing that, they're going to rack up a few goals here.
Jenkins gets the ball dispossessed. And now Skyview with some decent numbers, but Vasquez has dropped back and taken away that advantage, and he'll take away the ball as well.
Yeah, it just took too long to build that up, and Ridgeline was able to just swarm and get...
Jenkins shoots from far out, but Horman's there.
Yeah, they're certainly putting Horman through his paces.
And that one out of bounds, last touched by Bowen Hodder.
This is one of those games that makes you feel good as a goalkeeper, and it warms you up, so it's all... And so he gets confidence. Yeah. He might make some spectacular saves here after warming his gloves up with a couple of sort of difficult but not too dangerous saves.
Some of these shots have been, let's see if the keeper's awake, and then there's been a couple dangerous ones, but like you said, right at him.
Yeah, they put one right above his head, reached up and grabbed it, put one right at his feet, leaned down and grabbed it. There's a player on the ground.
It's a Skyview player, it looks like Max Falslev. He's getting up, just adjusting his shin guard, it looks like.
Yeah, just might have taken a nice little knock to the leg, and they hurt.
Oh, for sure.
And but ultimately, I think he'll be fine. Might have even got stepped on. I think he was appealing to the ref, saying, "I got stepped on."
Yeah, more frustrated with no whistle than the pain he might be in.
Yeah, well, that pain does hurt. Getting cleated sucks, especially because soccer shoes provide zero protection against getting cleated.
Going to restart with a drop ball.
A drop ball that he's just giving to, well, the Ridgeline may be conceding there.
I was like, I think it was live. It wasn't a free kick.
Yeah.
It's taken away by Ridgeline. Deflected back to the Skyview back line. They'll send a deep ball up. And it's won by Ridgeline, but the clear not the best. Oh, a nice heel flick going on the far touchline.
They need a switchy here.
Chris Bodo. Ball in the box. The shot is off target.
Goodness. Talk about that skill check there. That was insane. Like where he was at and the fact that he hit on the inside of his foot, going to his left, on the left side of goal, trying to fit into that top corner. I tell you, I don't think he missed by much. That was really nice there from Robinson, excuse me.
Yeah, not a lot of players at this level have the skill to get that one as close as it was for, the way he was moving, like you said.
Yeah, well, the body tends not to be able to move like that to put that in there.
No.
And maybe an outside foot might have been able to put that one on. But
as we're talking about their last opportunity, Skyview now at the corner. Coming from the far side touchline. In the air. First headed out by Ridgeline. It's out of the box.
Good job by Ridgeline to rise up and really get that. Robinson was in the area. But Ridgeline skying in there to get that clear. Great job by the defense.
A sloppy touch there from Christensen, and Ridgeline has a throw-in near midfield. Grant Ogden will take it. Into Leon. He'll send it up to Jenkins. Back to Leon. Has some space. Through ball up. And it is saved. Man, it got on target, but still danger here. Leon goes to the ground. And
there's going to be no call there, and I don't think there should be. That's not enough for a penalty. But tell you what, let's get the full screen on here. Look at it in slow motion. We'll get it back to you in a second. But that ball, he slid it through there and got past the keeper, but it was going slow enough that the defense was able to go in there and kick it off the line.
Alex Nielsen with another great recovery for Skyview. That's two now. He had a good clear after the secondary clear right to Ridgeline, and then now a goal line clearance that saved a goal.
Yeah, those goal line clearances, that's where you say, I owe you lunch as a keeper.
Bodo sends the ball into the box, diving on it to stop it. Useche.
There's your first real action for the keeper there, sliding down on the turf, which, mind you, turf is the mortal enemy of all goalkeepers everywhere. Wear some extra padding underneath your shirt and some knee pads.
That's for sure.
Or you'll be picking pellets out of your knees.
Vasquez to Jenkins. Jenkins to the right side, Johnson. The through ball into the box to Vasquez, and he got a little touch on. I don't know if you'll call that a shot, but
I'll call it a shot.
There.
He kicked it. He put the deliberate touch on there, and just bounced right off the keeper. So great positioning, obviously. Whenever you see a keeper get about 5 or 6, saves where they hit it right at him, you begin to think less of poor accuracy and more of good, positioning from the goalkeeper, and especially that one where he's making himself big to keep the forward from having somewhere to kick it and make a save without having to have any reactions to it.
Ogden up to Leon. He'll send the through ball, but it's in front of Johnson.
Yeah, not the most accurate through ball, but you can't be accurate on all of them.
That's one where this is, what your offense tells you to do, and Johnson just, trying to keep offside, onside rather, had to time his run differently. Leon on the near touchline, gets past one defender, but a nice recovery there from Henry Hardy. Sends it out for a Ridgeline throw-in on the near touchline.
Yeah, Skyview still holding on, but they are straining a little bit, where we've seen some, better and better touches for Ridgeline in the box, better opportunities.
Jenkins has it, turning around, up to Leon, touched out of bounds by Christensen, so Ridgeline keeps it. Jenkins looking for someone to throw into, has Leon. He'll touch it back to Jenkins, who starts to cut to the middle of the field, but it's taken away and cleared. Touched away by Tyler Markworth.
Seeing a lot of great, Ridgeline individual there dancing around defenders. Well, that isn't always the best thing for an offense. You want good connections in passing. Because, you ever see those highlight videos of soccer players dancing around the defenders and making cool moves? You don't see on the end of half of those goals.
Yeah.
Because it looks cool, but it doesn't result in goals very often.
Well, the other problem is that it uses a lot of your energy.
Then sometimes you're out of position to get back on defense once you lose it.
A deep ball sent by Ridgeline, out of the air by Skyview, but it's dropped back to the Riverhawks. Taken away now. See if they can launch a counter. No, they can't. Here's Vasquez running the other way. He'll take a shot. It's off target, but didn't miss by much. Let's take a look at that one.
Yeah, letting a guy run up on that. I know Skyview had a line of players in there potentially block it, but being able to thread a ball through there and not miss by much, you never want to let a striker just lace one up and throw it at goal.
No, it's not one that's going to make you feel too confident as a keeper. Like, hey, you can't let them take those kind of shots. That one goes out for a Bobcat throw-in. About 10 yards from midfield. About 25 minutes into this one. Still scoreless here in Smithfield. It's between Skyview and Ridgeline in Region 11 boys soccer. Bodo has it taken away from him on the far sideline.
Skyview had a chance getting into the attacking third, but then just lost it. Couldn't get a good shot off. Or even good opportunity for a shot.
That one cleared out by Nielsen. A Ridgeline throw-in, and they'll have a change here. Looks like Easton Geiger into the game for the Riverhawks.
Yeah, had a handful of substitutions, but not a ton from either side.
Here's Grady Workman. Down the near touchline. Got past one defender. Played it down for, let's see.
They call it out of bounds, and I think it's in the corner that neither of us can see very well.
No, Tate Hickman was his intended teammate on that pass. It was just a little too far in front, and he could not save it, so Skyview got the throw in there. Howder sends one into the box, and Skyview will let that drop all the way back to the keeper.
Look at all these throw-in opportunities, and it's just, I know Skyview certainly has a defensive philosophy to keep as many guys back as possible, but every time it seems to go into the midfield, there's 3 Ridgeline guys and no Skyview players. There's just this giant gap between the forwards and the defense of Skyview, and they can't possess in the midfield, whereas Ridgeline is doing all the possessing.
Here's Vasquez on the far touchline. He's parallel off the box, cuts inside now, and it's out of bounds off of Skyview. A corner coming for Ridgeline.
Yeah, really great job there to turn the corner. You're usually not able to turn the corner running down the sideline, but he did. Got into the box and tried to chip one back toward the penalty spot, but it got deflected.
I'll take it short. The cross is way too hard, and no Riverhawk can save it there.
Yeah, too high and too hard.
Looked like Jenkins sent that one in. Or rather out. Too far.
Send it into the box and then right out of the box.
Yeah. We'll have a change here for Ridgeline. Let's see, it looks like Trent Godfrey into the match for Diego Vasquez. There's the new man, but he'll let Jenkins take the touch instead. Shot. It is off target. Misses the left post by a foot or two.
Yeah, some of these shots I'm not a huge fan of because it's just too much confidence in your own skill, especially for a high schooler. Can you really turn your hips and get the right accuracy with that kind of running to your right, trying to hit it left? Not, unless you're a superstar soccer player, you're not really putting that on frame, so it's not doing you too much good to be trying to put that on frame.
Here's Reyes for Skyview. Gets past 2 defenders. And now Skyview at the counter. Reyes sends the ball in. It's cleared out of the box, but not out of danger just yet. Some nice passing will get it further up the field, though.
Yeah, Reyes did a really good job to beat 2 defenders and run up the sideline, but he didn't have anybody to pass to. And he kind of had to kick it down the the line, but then also kind of behind him too. And there was the Ridgeline defense there. So great individual effort, just nobody there to help him out.
That one sent up. It's to Reyes.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
That's a goal for Skyview.
Reyes, oh, my goodness. That was an amazing play.
Let's watch this replay.
I think I need to toggle the slow motion off there.
Bear with us here.
We're testing out this new system here, and it's just not working very well.
Well, you can see the celebration there. It was a really nice play. It was a little misplayed on the through ball. So Bodo sent the ball in from the far touchline. It got deflected up in the air, and Reyes just played it really nice out of the air. Sent it on target, got it past Usechi, and Skyview strikes first, 1-0.
So 11:40 is when that goal was scored. So the descending clock really throwing off our normal soccer instincts to say what minute it was. 11:40 to go here in the first half. Skyview, a goal against the run of play. And that plays into Skyview. They've kind of been playing this, stack back on defense and try and, defend against a very potent Ridgeline attack. And, well, now they're one goal up, and they have every advantage because of it.
Ridgeline plays it up to Flygare. I mean, possession has been in favor of Ridgeline. Shots on goal has been in favor of Ridgeline. Shots in total in favor of Ridgeline. And total good opportunities, I would say, in favor of Ridgeline. But, man, that's what defense can do for you.
Yeah, if you're able to just defend everything, I've seen many a game where the offense gets a ton of chances, the goalkeeper stands on his head, and you think, oh, this one team completely outplayed you, but the other team got that one goal, and so they win.
Ridgeline, a long shot out, off target there from Grady Workman, too high.
He tells you how many shots Ridgeline has because I ran out of room on my little paper where I divided up the boxes. Ridgeline with 11 shots, 5 on goal. Skyview, 2 shots, 2 on goal. They got the 1 goal.
It's a 50% rate.
There you go.
Well, and this is where, calculations like expected goal average or something can get it wrong because, I'd say with those numbers, Ridgeline would, have about 3 goals expected or so. But, obviously Skyview has taken the most of their opportunities. Here's one for Ridgeline, though. Horman's there to catch it off the bounce, get it away from the Riverhawks. And
so he gets more and more confident the more he gets these touches, these clean looks where he's done really great. He's not been tested super hard. But, the more and more of these, mid-level opportunities he has to assert himself into the game and enforce his will, gets more confidence. And then when that really tough test comes, you end up nailing it because you got that confidence and you're all warmed up.
I believe that.
Meanwhile, the Ridgeline keeper hadn't had to do anything all day. And, of course, I wouldn't say the goal was his fault, but
it was, more an impressive play from Reyes than the fault of any Riverhawk there.
But it was a play where he had to jump off his line and do something. He just, sometimes you misjudge. But once you're in the rhythm, then sometimes you have all that confidence. All right, I'm just going to go do it, and then you go do it.
Flygare taking the throw in on the near touch line. It's a deep ball sent out again for another Ridgeline throw. Grady Workman in the area, but it's spooted out.
Taking their dear sweet time to get that ball up there.
Which is, there's still plenty of time in this half, 9 minutes, but you're the team trailing. There's a shot on from Jenkins. Horman saves it. He couldn't corral it, though, so it'll go out for a corner. Frustrated with himself there.
I don't know where you might have pulled something.
Oh, maybe.
Did he take that one off the gentleman's area?
Perhaps. It certainly looks like he might be reacting like that. Another short corner here. Here's Jenkins in the box. Fires, saved by Horman.
That was like the exact same shot. Put it on goal again. So 7 shots on goal now, 2 in a short span, but Horman absolutely, playing his part well, positioning well, and just making it easy for himself.
I like the first shot a little bit better from Jenkins because it seemed to have a little more heat and it had a little bit better placement too. It was right near that near post on the bottom left.
A little more surprising too.
Yeah.
Keeper wasn't really as ready for it. The kind that you could kind of sneak in there.
Here's Flygare on the near touchline. Sent up to Jenkins, trying to give it up to Workman. Now they're fighting for it. 3 Bobcats and 2 Riverhawks.
Just wildly throwing kicks at the ball.
And a whistle.
Maybe a foul on Ridgeline, maybe a bit of a tug.
Yeah, I think maybe Flagger got his jersey. Not too many fouls in this one.
Yeah, that's about the second or third, maybe only the second.
Definitely been letting the guys play a little more physically.
These aren't two super physical teams. They're not doing all the tugging and bumping and the kind of stuff that I always like to do. Which is why when I used to ref a few games, I used to let all that stuff go. Say, oh, I'd do that. Nothing bad, though.
That one off of Workman, they'll say. So Skyview with a throw-in. Ben Taylor will take it. Now he'll leave it instead for Ezra Hawes. It's back to Taylor. Taken away by Workman. And with a chance here, Leon back to Workman on the give and go on the near touchline. Covered a lot of ground now as Workman could not get it past his defender, who did not keep it in bounds.
Yeah, he tried to clear it there before it went out. It was off him, but sideline ref there, the assistant, right on top of it.
Leon looking to Flagger. Now Workman on the throw-in. Back to Flagger. Leon to Workman. Tried to get the cross in. It's blocked out of bounds, though, off of Henry Hardy. Another throw-in for the Riverhawks here. It's a deep one from Flagger into the box. There's a Bobcat. It's not cleared out of danger yet, though. The shot from Workman deflected, and Leon will let it go out for a Riverhawk corner. Ridgeline down 1-0 to Skyview with just under 6 minutes to go in the first half here. Looking to take it short again.
Skyview was pressuring the short corner, not allowing it.
Faked him out. Horman tipped it up over him and out of bounds. No, they'll keep it in.
He just barely kept that in.
Impressive play there from the left back. And now Skyview with an opportunity here if they can take advantage of this chaos on the counter. But that ball is too far and too far in front of Max Falslev.
Looks like he might be favoring one of his legs there. He kind of pulled up early, limping around a little bit. Because he went down a little earlier.
Yeah.
I thought it was just his foot. Or maybe he's favoring his foot. I don't know.
Flagger drops it back. Now send him through the middle field. And there's Leon pressuring the Bobcats, and they'll launch a counter here. It is 3-on-5. A deep shot off target.
Just barely off target, and maybe it was almost deflected by the keeper. He certainly dove for it.
It looked close because it was in that white part of the end zone, and he has white gloves. It certainly looked like there might have been a deflection.
We had one of the Skyview players. He went down. There's a bit of a jersey tug, and then he went down shortly after losing the ball. It was Jacob Wood. And he pulled up holding one of his legs. He's running off just fine now, but then he was not happy at the referee. Probably lucky he didn't get a card based on the throwing his hand out. It's the kind of stuff I've seen guys get technicals for in basketball.
Leon pulled down.
Yeah, speaking of fouls, Skyview commits one. Pretty obvious one.
Yeah, that one's on Austin Hayden. And a free kick here for Ridgeline, about 35 yards out of the goal line.
They're just going to take it short.
Then a deep shot from the right side off target from Workman.
Took it short, put it 5 yards up and off to the right, and then took a shot. I'm not sure how. Maybe they were looking for maybe a rebound or something off of that.
Yeah, it could be, and looking for some better sight lines because Skyview had really stacked the box in front of the free kick. Falslev and Reyes leading the fast break, but it's sent out by Ridgeline for a Skyview throw, and Falslev again slow to get up.
And it went down. Maybe he was trying to draw a bit of a foul, or he just tripped up. And oh no, they're giving it to him.
He did draw the foul.
It looked like he got tripped up. I just saw him biff it on the turf and figured he might have got tripped lightly, but the referee waited to blow his whistle, probably rightfully, waiting for advantage.
Ball skipping down low, and a shot on just over the crossbar. A great opportunity there for Ben Taylor.
Yeah, and that was nearly a disaster for Ridgeline because they had that dead to rights as far as defending it, and they messed up and gave Skyview a golden opportunity to maybe go up 2-0 here just before halftime, but unfortunately Skyview unable to do that. Hopefully that doesn't haunt them, at least for their sake.
Nielsen there to stop the Workman through ball, and Skyview working again. A nice slide there, takes it back for Ridgeline. Still fighting for it there in the middle of the field. Ooh, that one deflected up off someone's head. He's right back up, though.
Yeah, they tried to clear it, and it went right off of, that was Austin Hayden's face.
Hayden has it here.
He took it like a champ, though. He got right back up.
Well, he's leading the counter now. Lost possession there. A nice play from Trent Godfrey, and here comes Ridgeline. That's a nice dribble. Past the middle. Now taking it outside is Leon. He'll cut back inside and send it to the far sideline.
Good job creating openings, but Skyview just able to clear it out. So clearing it all the way into the snow. They going to get a new ball or wait for that one to come back? They're just standing around.
I mean, that one's behind a fence or two, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sitting up against the second fence, and it's half buried in the snow. So they went and got another ball. They're good.
And they did end up calling the foul against Ridgeline. It was
oh, really?
Easton Geiger getting tangled up with the left back of Skyview.
A few more fouls here recently, and and there's another foul. They're getting all physical here. Reyes had a chance for a good counter, continuing counter, but a pretty poor pass there trying to find his teammate. And then it just they fouled, and that was the end of the counterattack.
It wasn't a ton of pressure from Falslev, but the way Godfrey was running, he just kind of lost his balance, so he didn't need much of a touch. Workman.
Yeah, things are getting really physical now. We had one foul in like 30 minutes, and all of a sudden there's all kinds of physicality.
It's not about the quantity, it's the quality, and these have been some pretty edgy fouls, bringing up the passion for both teams. Here's Falslev. Pressured by two Riverhawks, it's taken away. Leon recovers, and now going the other way is Ridgeline. Tate Hickman up to Leon on the near touchline. A touch inside, fires, deflected away from goal, still in bounds though, heading towards the goal line, out for a corner.
And that was a good shot to find Leon.
5 seconds though, they'll take it quick, and Horman got it out of the air. And that should end the half here. And there is the whistle after 40 minutes. It's Skyview on top in what has been an excellent showing from their defense here. Allowing, Ridgeline some opportunities, but kind of that, to borrow an American football phrase, a bend, don't break defense.
There you go. Just sometimes now they can, sit back and stack the box and work on those counterattacks, because that's where they got their handful of opportunities is counterattacks. And they've got some skilled forwards who can make opportunities out of seemingly nothing. We saw it twice, and one of those ended up being a goal. So Skyview at the edge here in how they're playing, but, of course, you're playing with fire if you're letting Ridgeline dictate the way they have. It's worked. It's worked before, but you never want to depend on a 1-0 lead.
No, definitely not. Yasmani Reyes, the Bobcat responsible for that goal. But we're going to go ahead and take a break here. Stick around for our halftime report here on 107.7 KLZX and CashValleyDaily.com.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
No matter how cold it is outside, you can keep warm and toasty inside with a quality-built, super-efficient York furnace. Call Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning at 752-7272. Online at advancedheating-ac.com. York, install confidence.
When disaster overwhelms you, let ARS restore your peace of mind. Call 753-9600 or go to our website at arscleanup.com.
Now is the time to head over to Cache Valley Auto Care, because when your car isn't working right, you just need someone who can help make your life a little easier. Cache Valley Auto Care, behind Home Depot on 200 East, 1175 North.
DD Auto and Salvage is going to pay you the most for junk vehicles. Get rid of your junk vehicles today. Pickup is available. DD Auto and Salvage in Logan. Call 787-1204. That's 787-1204 today. See store for details.
Great Basin Graphics has quality screen printing, detailed embroidery, and award-winning graphic designers. The right look, the right design, the perfect fit. Get noticed with GBG. Get your order in today for spring products. Google Great Basin Graphics for screen printing and embroidery. 966 West 400 North in Logan.
Combining your home and auto insurance with one agent.
Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Lana Powell. For a competitive quote on home, auto, and life insurance, call us at 752-7639. Lana Powell, State Farm Insurance.
Defense helps win championships. That's true in business too. This is Dave Simmons. Les Olson IT is the best defense for your network. Everything from copiers to outsourced IT services.
Les Olson IT.
What do they do at the Logo Shop? Custom design t-shirts, hats, and jackets with your company logo. Or put your logo on pens, drinkware, golf balls, travel accessories, outdoor gear, anything. Give them a call. Check out the possibilities.
Logo Stop, the Logo Shop.
It's halftime here in Smithfield between Skyview and Ridgeline. Boys Region 11 soccer here on 107.7 KLZX. Video streaming on CashValleyDaily.com. I'm Jake Ellis, joined by Jason Walker. The score 1-0, Skyview on top with a beautiful goal from Yasmani Reyes in about, the 28th minute or so. Did you mark that down?
There was 11 minute 40 to go in the game. I didn't do the math on what minute it was, but I think that's the 29th minute.
Yeah, that sounds right.
28th or 29th minute. So certainly well into that first half. And yeah, Skyview playing on its back heels for a lot of the game. Ridgeline applying all the pressure. Look at the halftime stats. By the end of the first half, Ridgeline had 15 shots, 7 of those on goal. So they're putting half their shots. Sometimes you rack up shots, you don't get any on goal. They've put shots on goal. They have certainly tested Skyview's keeper, Horman.
And they've definitely had some near misses, too. It's not like, some of those shots were just booted, way above the crossbar or something. They've been close.
Yeah, they've really tested. Horman had to get down to ground a couple of times, some tough shots. Some of them are a little easier. He hasn't made any, highlight-worthy saves, but he's been putting in really good work. Great positioning, and, when you have great positioning, you don't need to make highlight-worthy saves. And so it may not look spectacular, but it's still good goalkeeping. So he's done a great job. The Skyview defense has done okay. I mean, when you give up 7 shots on goal, I can't credit the defense for a ton, but still, they've been under a lot of pressure and haven't allowed any golden chances. So that's a little praise that I can give them. Ridgeline, they did really well in possession, but of course, a couple of times Skyview got it up there. And one of those times, you mentioned the goal, Reyes, just absolutely skillful shot.
Yeah.
A little one-touch, outside of his foot, popped it over the keeper and into the goal, or popped it past the keeper.
I mean, would you call it a volley? Because it was in air.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it might have bounced once, but it was in the air. He jumped up into the air, and kicked it up there, and keeper couldn't really do much to block it unless it went right at him, and it just goes past him and into the net. And it was a great goal, and that's what's got Skyview up, and it could be their saving grace because outside of basically 2 pretty good skill opportunities, Kyle Robinson had a shot that was kind of similar in some ways, where he was jumping up, trying to volley it out of the air with his foot about waist level. And similar spot, but he couldn't put it on frame. Dang near did put it on frame. But those are basically their only 2 offensive opportunities, whereas Ridgeline has controlled this game. But Skyview would be content for an identical second half in terms of what they've allowed. But as I said right before we went to break, they're playing with fire. Skyview's got to be over there saying, "Okay, we get one more goal, and we can kind of park the bus a little bit."
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if you're up 1-0 in the last 5 minutes, okay, then you park the bus. But until then, don't be giving up another 7 shots on goal because I don't think Ridgeline's going to walk out of here with 14 shots on goal and 0 goals.
No, well, they've scored 11 in their last 2 matches, 13 in the last 3. So this is not an offense that stays silent very often. And, while I don't know if silent is the best word there, they've definitely tested Horman, but it hasn't been.
They've been empty-handed.
Yeah.
All bark and no bite, I guess, is one phrase you could use.
That's for sure.
But we'll see. They've got a lot of bite to them, and that's why I say Skyview's got to be careful. They can't say, all right, we got the 1-0 goal and we can just defend really well and have Horman make another 7 saves. That should never be your game plan ever. And so, but then I imagine Skyview's not going with that game plan. But you never willingly give up 6-7 shots on goal. They have to play better on defense to at least be comfortable with the win.
Well, in some of their counters, they've had the chances. The ball's been booted out there a lot, but most of the time, Ridgeline has done a really nice job of winning the ball out of the air. So something I would, be stressing to both wings on the left and the right side is, to try and win some of those aerial attacks. I know they have height on you, but, you use your body in a smart way to try and win some of those because, just 2 shots on goal, obviously it's worked out. They've been great chances, but, that's out of, 10 or 15 shots that, they've had the ball, around midfield and they haven't been able to turn it and go downfield.
Yeah, they just need to create more. They need to do, the way they're playing would make you think it fits well for a counterattack, but they haven't been able to get any counterattacks because they clear the ball out, and Ridgeline always recovers at midfield. And you can't counter if you can't get the ball to your midfielders, and Skyview's not done that. Now, some of it is because the midfielders are playing back, and so they're all playing defense because they're playing, mostly team defense, just swarming the ball with numbers and, suffocating any chances out of Ridgeline. But it is leading to a lack of counter chances because they can't possess at all. Having light possession isn't bad for particular styles of offense, but you have to have the ball in the midfield at some point to build something up, unless you get lucky, which I don't know if you want to call that goal luck that Skyview had, but
I would call the lead-up lucky and the finish skillful.
Yeah, there you go. Bit of both there, a bit of luck and a bit of skill, and heck, if you have both, then you win soccer games.
Well, let's take one quick break before we get going here in the second half in Smithfield.
Your Cache and Box Elder County McDonald's take pride in being part of our community. Your local McDonald's is hiring with flexible hours, tuition reimbursement, and great pay. Start your career today. Apply at careers.mcdonalds.com. McDonald's is an equal opportunity employer committed to a diverse and inclusive workforce.
RPMs raise your BPMs. Then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Ready for the second half here between Skyview and Ridgeline. The Bobcats up 1-0 over the visiting Riverhawks here in the first game of Region 11 play for the Skyview Bobcats, the second for Ridgeline. They're 1-0 in region right now. And they'll definitely need to convert on some opportunities to not get in the loss column here because they've had plenty of opportunities. We've been talking about it all halftime, but got to convert on those. To start the second half, Ridgeline will kick off heading to the south or from left to right on your radio dial.
Well, left to right on the streaming.
Oh, yeah, that's fun too. And they'll start with a deep ball to the near touchline. And it is won by Skyview after some heavy pressure, but that is a giveaway to Flygare on the far sideline. But it's bounced right up to Reyes, and here's a counter opportunity. The through ball, it's a beautiful ball. The shot,
he missed
off
it.
Target.
Oh, that was a beautiful play and just the exact kind of thing that Skyview could have done. And then said, all right, we can play conservative from here. Kyle Robinson had the one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he just couldn't finish it there.
The window was closing, and he just could not get the touch he wanted.
That's one where you have the missed shot, and you call it a shot, not a shot on goal, but don't they have like opportunities created as a stat now and all that stuff?
I would not doubt it. The analytics are coming up in every sport.
Yeah,
that's a handball. Going to go against Ridgeline rather, for a Skyview free kick. And the referee just talking here with Leon, who was the one that got tangled up and called for that foul. I thought it was going to be a handball, but they called the foul before the handball. There's a ball. It's sent right in front of the box, headed out of the air by Ridgeline, and now they're trying to get going on the counter. Here's Vasquez. He crosses midfield, sends a ball. It's deflected and cleared by Skyview.
Skyview doing a little bit better getting to these 50-50 balls. Not perfect, but if they play that way the rest of the half, they should be all right.
There's a nice turnaround from Skyview. Reyes trying to win it. He will, but pressured right back by Flagger, who's won it. And he'll try to get a pass up, but it's booted away by Skyview. Back to midfield for Howder. On the Bobcat logo, he'll drop it back to his teammates on the back line. And they'll reset out to the far touchline. But there's some pressure and a throw in for Ridgeline, they'll say.
Skyview wasn't happy about that. They were trying to say that it was their ball.
Robinson thought that he would have the throw in there. And that one was touched by Ridgeline. Let's see if the ref saw it, though.
Yeah, the refs did not see it. Everyone on the sideline knows that it took the slightest deflection off of Ridgeline, but not one that the referees were in the best position to see. And I'll be honest, Skyview kind of bumped him a little bit, too.
Sure.
So cosmic justice on not getting the call there.
Here's Howder for Ridgeline to Flygare on the near touchline. Has some time, looking for a good pass. Leon lets it go by him, and now it's dropped back again to Ridgeline's far back. All the way to the keeper now. Usechi over to the left side.
Yeah, Ridgeline it took them a minute to warm up in the first half, but they got warmed up, but now they're kind of cool again. They're not as dominant. They're not getting those passes deep into Skyview territory, and they're letting Skyview kind of take over the game at the moment. Skyview's possessing a little more. No chances for either side yet this half, but it's the way Skyview's going. They might break through a lot sooner.
There's a nice step through from Taylor. He will cross it, or I think it was a cross that got deflected out. It will be a corner.
And that was hard.
Skyview.
That was hard to see from our angle. Wasn't sure if it was just a mishit cross, because it just looked like it zinged right out of there. But it could very well have been deflected the angle it took, because it didn't even come close to the box.
No. Ben Taylor will take the corner on the far touchline for Skyview. They'll crowd the keeper on a low cross. Trying to get a shot off. It's crossed over to the near sideline. A big miss on the clear attempt, but cleared secondarily by the Riverhawks. Not out of danger yet. Here's a long shot out from Nielsen, but Usechi there.
Yeah, a couple of frantic balls. It's pinballing around the keeper, and that's the nightmare for the defense. The dang near fell to Skyview in a couple of advantageous positions.
And Flygare will have to play that one out for a corner because Reyes was right on his heels.
Second corner in a couple minutes here. Only had 3 corners the entire first half, but we've had a couple here for Skyview already here, 5 minutes into the second half.
From the near corner this time. And it's sent to the front post. That is on target and in! A goal for the Bobcats!
Defense tried to deflect that away. Defender had to go to ground. I didn't see who hit that in. Yeah, defender tried to clear it off the line. Let's look at the replay and see if we get an idea.
It looks like that in. All the congratulations are going to Henry Hardy, perhaps, but I did not see who got that shot on.
It was number 11. It was Markworth, I believe. That's who it looked like on the replay. Need to get back to the regular game cam. So there you go. Another goal for the home team. Skyview now up 2-0. Got to add a little more time onto our clock on the digital broadcast. They stopped the clock for goals.
It's going to be a Skyview throw-in. The ball had gone back behind a snowplow.
There you go. That's the fun stuff. You play. What's it like playing soccer with the snow-capped mountains in the background and then piles of snow just outside the end zone.
And it's one thing for the snow-capped mountains, because they're close, but they're not right here. But it's It's the mounds of snow behind the goal.
Yeah, the mountains usually have snow on them around here. So yeah, Skyview completely taken over this game. Ridgeline just all out of sorts now. They looked like they had all the momentum, all the chances in the world. Skyview up 2-0. And that completely changes the landscape of this game. Huge turn of events for Skyview there.
Fighting for possession at midfield. It's Vasquez winning that battle. They'll send it to the far sideline. Jenkins, the left wing, tried to cut inside, got deterred by a defender. And now Ridgeline will reset up that near touchline up the middle now. Vasquez will fire. It's on target, but Horman right there.
So that gets their first shot on goal there.
And he will punt it deep downfield. Goes off of Hodder's head the wrong way, and it's trailing all the way back. Played to Usechi, the goalkeeper, up to Flygear.
And we've just seen a much better job from Skyview, making Ridgeline more uncomfortable in their possession.
Vasquez tried to boot one, but his ball got deflected. Howder misses the touch. Here's Taylor. And that one taken away. Some nice defense there.
Robinson trying the little nifty through pass off the outside of his foot for Reyes, but
it's Andrew Finley there for Ridgeline to stop that attack.
Yeah, it's good defense by Ridgeline, probably anticipating that little first touch volley attempt and just deflecting it away when it was tried.
A throw-in taken away by Vasquez, who read that one like a book, and he sent a nice through ball. It's a little far in front. Horman comes out of his box to clear. And trying to win it out of the air was Kyle Robinson, but the Ridgeline defense successful there, and they'll reset here.
Yeah, he was all alone by himself in a crowd of 3 Ridgeline players. They get it away from him.
Going up the far touchline, they keep it in. Putting a lot of heat on these passes. And that ball out of bounds for a Ridgeline throw-in. Thrown into Howder. And he'll play it off. That one sent towards Flygare. And now the one just ping-ponging back and forth. No one really taking possession, just kind of launching it. Here's Ben Taylor, but it's taken away by Vasquez and Johnson. Back to Vasquez. Jenkins towards Johnson, but booted away by Nielsen.
Yeah, really solid job by Skyview defense now. Nearly a counterattack. They're just going to let it go out of bounds. Skyview saying it was their ball.
Doesn't matter while they're complaining. It's taken right back. Taylor shoots one just over the crossbar. That one looked like it was going to be high, but it dipped lower than I thought it would be.
Yeah, for a second, the keeper just watches oh, that's never going in. Mm-hmm. And it, from this angle at least, looked like it came a lot closer than maybe initially intended.
Some nice topspin brought it down quickly.
Yeah, hectic play there because, Skyview thought it was theirs. Referees just played out the fact that Ridgeline let it go out, that it must have been their ball. But then, Skyview steals the inbound pass in the midst of all the complaining.
Ridgeline with a throw-in. They're attacking third on the doorstep there. Jenkins will have to drop it back. Some nice movement there. And it's sent back to Howder. They'll send it towards Flygare. Leon. Out of bounds off Skyview for another Ridgeline throw-in.
Yeah, trying that long ball, trying to, thread the needle there through the defense. But couldn't get enough distance on that cross, and the defense able to sniff it out, head it out, reset things here.
Denayer Dean into this one for Ridgeline, and it looks like
Chris Boto. The junior. He's got 3 goals on the year coming in for Reyes.
I like that little tandem on the right wing.
Yeah, Ridgeline getting a shot there, getting it blocked by just a crowd of Skyview players.
I really like how this Skyview defense is operating.
Yeah, they're doing much better. They've collapsed all these opportunities. We talked about at halftime is that, sure, Ridgeline may possess, but they don't get up. You don't want them to get opportunities. And they haven't this half.
Robinson's ball was way far in front of Bodo. He was not able to track it down before Finley got to it. And that went out of bounds off Skyview.
I don't know what Ridgeline's complaining about. They both kicked at the same
Ridgeline.
They kicked it at the same time, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
At that point, the ref just picks a team and gives it to him.
It'll go for Skyview to the dismay of the River Hawk left back.
I've never seen so much dismay over like 3 or 4 out of bounds calls in a game before. Usually it's the fouls, but the fouls have been pretty obvious here in this game. Nothing to complain about.
Certainly. And it didn't really matter all that much because Ridgeline will have a throw in about the same spot a few yards upfield.
Much ado about nothing sometimes.
Here's Finley.
Must be the Dallas Mavericks. Then you're upset about out-of-bounds calls.
Well, I'm launching a protest upset about that.
Yeah, that's going to go nowhere because they're not going to do anything.
Vasquez takes it away. Ball sent to the far touchline. An opportunity for Leon. He's keeping it in front of him.
That was a good first touch there by Leon, cradling a,
There's the cross. Horman there scoops it off the ground. Jenkins sent it in from the pass from Tate Hickman.
Yeah, it's a good little build up there. Leon starting it by corralling that, that through ball very well off his chest, and then, getting around there, get across there. So that's your first, at least half decent opportunity there. And yeah, that's a foul. Pushing him right in the back on Skyview committing the foul.
Some frustration there from Grant Ogden. He'll finally pick up that call because I think he's been talking to the assistant referee over there like, hey man, he's pushing me all the time, and he got that call when the flag went up.
That one was pretty obvious though. He almost gave him a two-handed shove.
Can't complain about it.
No.
Finley to the near touchline, flag air. Bodo dropping back to defend. Flagger gets past him, though. The through ball into the box.
Well played by the defense. He read that through ball like a book and was ready for it. Closed off any opportunity there.
Skyview can't get the pass out to Bodo, so Ridgeline will take a throw in.
Not as technical on the possession to get it back, but by that center back to read that pass, there was no opportunity for a ground through ball to go through there. And so when it was tried, it was an open and shut case, able to clear that one out.
And a sub here for Skyview.
Had a couple, or not just the one sub.
Austin Hayden into this match. And it's sent back to Finley for Ridgeline. He has Howder in the middle. Sends it to the far touchline. Looking for a teammate upfield. Out of bounds, so Ridgeline will keep it. Tyler Turner on the throw-in. Jenkins trying to get past the newly subbed in Bobcat, and he will foul him instead.
Yeah, tugging on the arm there. A little too much tugging there.
Hayden draws the foul for Skyview, and a free kick coming about 30 yards from the goal line. It's a deep boot, but headed out of the air by Ridgeline. Can they keep it in bounds? They will, but could not find a teammate, so it's booted back downfield again by Skyview. And that one taking a bounce towards the Bobcats this time, but taken right away by Flagger, and he has Howder. Howder up to Jenkins. There's a deep ball towards Johnson, but Nielsen there to head it to a teammate. Hayden, and now over to Bodo. Bodo fighting with Vasquez in midfield. Bodo get past a couple, but a foul called on Bodo. I think he saw him tug a little bit. No.
Now they're going to call it. Bodo going to draw the foul.
Yeah.
They got tripped up or tugged a little bit. Referee was waiting for the advantage there.
Yeah, sometimes they point to the spot of the foul immediately instead of the direction. And so it can be confusing on.
Yeah, it's confusing for us because he's probably yelling out what it is so the players know, but it's hard for people trying to read the referee signals what's going on.
There's the deep ball to Robinson, but won by Ridgeline with not too much effort.
25 minutes to go here. Ridgeline down 2-0. They had all the reason to believe they could win this game early on in the first half when they had the 7 shots on goal. Struggling now, down 2 goals, and still haven't managed to capitalize on any of their great opportunities.
That ball will stay in bounds. Leon thought it was going to spin out, but instead it spun the other way and just died on the turf, and it was booted away by Skyview. Now Ridgeline building from the back. Finley up to Vasquez. A nice move past Bodo. Has a trailing defender who fouls him.
Yeah, I know Ridgeline's going to want a card for that, but more of an innocent foul, tripped him up.
Yeah, a tactical one, and not tactical enough that not tactical enough that it's gonna warrant a yellow for a spa kind of foul, but also not hard enough to warrant any kind of card.
Yeah, they're gonna get a shot from 30 yards out though, and they're lining up like they. It's a dangerous because it can be maybe a shot or a cross.
They have the players in there for the cross.
Yeah, it's looking more like he's gonna. They're talking about exactly what they're gonna do here.
It's 30 yards from goal.
They're gonna
add about 7 from the angle because it's near the near touch line. Here's the whistle. And a jump over. Vasquez will take it on. Goal. It's saved by Horman. Bounced off his hands, but he got the second bounce there. And a nice save from the Skyview keeper.
Yeah, he kind of spilled out in front of himself, and he realized just how much of a mistake that was, and he had to scramble to get it. Yeah, they ended up putting a shot. They had a right-footed kicker in there and a left-footed one, and right-footer for the curl in for the cross, left-footer for the shot, and they went with the shot instead. And, well, that was on frame, so it wasn't a bad decision.
Howder. Pressured by Hayden. He has Leon up there on the far touchline. Trying to get past this strong Skyview defense who, after letting quite a few chances on goal in the first half, has really tightened up the second half.
Yeah, they're playing really well in limiting. Ridgeline was getting those passes in the attacking third and even around the box at times. But Skyview's not allowing that. They're doing a really good job at denying Ridgeline chances this half. And it's going to win them the game at this point if they continue the way they're going.
Cameron Jackson in for Tyler Markworth, who we believe was the goal scorer earlier this half to put Skyview up 2-0 over Ridgeline. Boys Region 11 Soccer here on 107.7 KLZX. And a corner for Ridgeline. Headed out of the air and off target by Leon, so a goal kick here for Skyview.
That was Ridgeline's first corner of the half. 21 minutes to go here in this second half, and Ridgeline going to enter desperation mode as they got a 2-goal deficit to overcome. And despite their 9 shots on goal throughout the game to Skyview's 4, they have a 2-goal deficit to overcome.
That went right to Johnson from the goal kick. See if he can get a cross off here on the near touchline. It's deflected, but I think he ran out of bounds before.
Yeah, I think he was trying to kick it off the Skyview player, and I think it just ended up going over the line before that moment. And so it's just going to be a goal kick. Again, great defense there because, danced around the one defender, but then a second defender came in, had the angle, cut off any opportunity there. Just great team defense by the Bobcats this half.
Yasmani Reyes in for Kyle Robinson for Skyview. And here's Reyes on his first touch back in the game. Got past one defender, up to Bodo. The give and go to Reyes. He'll shoot. Off target.
Yeah, a little too wide there. Maybe we could have lived with the cross because the goalkeeper had that angle all the way covered and was able to just watch that one go out. But
maybe the cross, but
he had one guy on the other side of the box, sort of open if he puts in a
steps behind.
Yeah. So tough situation there, and he chose, one of his 2 not so great options at that point.
Ridgeline has picked up the pace considerably. See if it leads to a chance here on the far touchline of another throw. No, it's out for Skyview, they'll say.
Yeah, went out of Skyview there. Ridgeline was trying to chase it down before it went out of bounds. Well, they got it right back.
Poked away by the defense. Up to Bodo.
That was the most pointless skill check I've ever seen. It looked cool.
Didn't lead to much.
It was a completed pass. That's about all he got out of it.
That one won the through ball. Stopped by Nielsen. But right back to Howder and Ridgeline. We're setting up camp in the attacking third of the field now with some decent possession the last minute or so. Howder wins it again on a deflection. It's dropped back to Flygare. Flygare will shoot from way out. It's off target.
Ooh, that was... Oh, man, that keeper must have memorized where his far post was, because that's one I might have picked up just in case.
Yep.
He let that one go, and it barely slipped over the past the post.
Only maybe 2 feet off.
Yeah, I think it's either a shot or he might have been doing a cross, one of both, or one of two potential options there, because he was eyeing the man he had in the box, but the kick itself looked more akin to a shot.
Got a foul going against Ridgeline as Ben Taylor is checked back into this one for Austin Hayden for Skyview. A Skyview free kick coming up.
Ben Taylor is the name of an NBA referee and a NBA analyst.
And a Skyview midfielder.
So I know 3 different Ben Taylors.
Wow. What do you know? Ridgeline with numbers on this counter. The through ball towards Leon. It didn't get to him. It wasn't strong enough.
Yeah, not a good enough angle, or not a good enough, angle on Leon's run in general. Got to connect those two. Ball went to the middle. Leon was on the right wing.
Horman's punt found his way towards Reyes, but he couldn't keep it in bounds on the far touchline. A Ridgeline throw coming. Just over 17 to play here. It's 2-0. Skyview, who have defended their home pitch well.
Yeah, done very well against a very tough Ridgeline first half attack. But now they can sit back and kind of play this one out. They've got a good lead to protect and have played incredibly well on defense this second half and held the line well enough in the first half.
Here's Vasquez. Had 3 Bobcats in front of him, but got the ball through. But it was in front of Hickman. He wasn't expecting the ball, so his balance was off, and he couldn't quite turn in time.
Yeah, if he'd been expecting that ball, the ball would be in the back of the net right about now. But, yeah, he wasn't ready for it.
That one headed out of bounds by the Riverhawks. And a Skyview throw coming as Austin Hayden's back in this one for Jackson.
Yeah, it was one of those plays where it's like, dang, I wish I was like psychic or something. You curse yourself for your good instincts to get back on defense when the other team has the ball.
Skyview up the far touchline. Off of Reyes, they'll say.
Just got to love these moments where they just keep doing throw-ins all along the sideline. Keep hitting it out 2 or 3 times in a row.
Vasquez to Flygare. Has Bodo in front of him. And he's fouled by Bodo. They'll play advantage as Vasquez runs up the near touchline, and he's fouled by Bodo as well.
That's what I'd argue a little bit more closer to a yellow card. Really rolled up and they're going to...
He will get that card as they stop the clock to issue the yellow to Bodo.
Justified, in my opinion. That was from behind, kind of rolled up his leg a little bit. A foul you don't want to see in soccer. So it's rightfully punished. It's not a dangerous foul or a vicious foul, so it fits very comfortably into the yellow card range.
And Skyview will take out Chris Bodo to bring right back in Cameron Jackson, who just subbed out.
I think in the high school level they have to come out.
Well, I don't... Oh, for the yellow, yeah.
For the yellow.
Cameron Jackson was standing near midfield that whole time, kind of expecting to come in. I just don't know if it was supposed to be for Bodo originally.
Yeah,
I think I've seen where piece is coming.
I think I've seen where they have to sub out. Obviously, they can come back in because they're not disqualified. But
looks like they'll definitely set up the cross here. Punched out of the air by Horman, but right to Flygare, who's fighting with Nielsen, and he was fouled.
They've not started the clock.
Nielsen fouled, I believe.
Oh no! Now they take time off the clock.
It was Flygare at the top of the box, just a yard or two from the top. And this will be a dangerous, dangerous spot. Definitely one you're going to want to put on frame as the referee paces out the 10 meters.
I feel like this should be a very exact 10 yards, considering it's straight on. They're about standing on the penalty spot. They're a couple yards behind the penalty spot, actually.
3 Riverhawks, but it's fired on by Flygare, saved by Horman.
And they tapped the ball moments before they put it in. The crowd was kind of trying to let Skyview know you can run at the ball now.
Yeah.
But we'll put that replay on there really quick for benefit of those at home watching on CashValleyDaily.com. Great save there from Horman, who that's probably the most difficult save he's had to make in this game and at a crucial time. It's his 10th save of the day.
Over just under 15 minutes to go in this match in Smithfield, and it's the home team Skyview Bobcats up 2-0 right now. Ridgeline with a couple good chances here in the second half, but like the first, has not come up with anything.
Yeah, and they're just going to get more and more desperate, but sometimes the team gets more and more desperate. That may very well lead to a third Skyview goal with the way they've played defense and potential for a good counterattack, which they've been better in the midfield and counterattack this game overall.
And that ball went out for a Skyview throw. They're trying to draw the foul on a push. Sold it a little bit, and the referee did not buy it.
Yeah, Ridgeline player went down a little easy there. But I would have thought it might have been a Ridgeline throw unless it deflected off of a Ridgeline player on its way out.
Kyle Robinson checks back into this one for Skyview. That one off of Reyes for a Ridgeline throw. About 30 yards from the goal line on the far touchline on this throw. Headed away from danger by Skyview. But Ridgeline's 10 of their 11 are in this attacking half. Flygare trying to get past the defender. And it'll go out for a Ridgeline throw.
Yeah, they were fighting each other. Some hands on both sides. One of those you just kind of let it go because both players probably committed a foul on that play.
Sent in by Workman, deflected out for another Ridgeline throw.
I think it might be a corner, actually. I thought it looked like a throw-in from my angle, but I think they're giving him a corner.
They're setting up for a corner, it looks like.
The referee pointed his flag down. But yeah, so all it...
Right near that corner flag. They'll take it short for the third time. Flagger to Vasquez. Vasquez fires, deflected away. Flagger there to clean up, sends it in the box. The cross is sent out wide. Workman couldn't get it on target.
That was another shot that went off somebody's face. There's two of those for Skyview. Thankfully, a different player this time.
Yeah, you're going to want to ice that one as soon as you get home.
Yeah, that's going to feel good, especially in the cold.
Oh. And those, and that's a fully inflated ball, I'd have to imagine.
No, it's just bam, right in the noggin. It doesn't feel good. It stings a little bit.
From the goal kick, it's up to Robinson, who did a nice job to take it away from Flagger, but then ran out of space.
Just kind of let it go. He just gave up suddenly. He's like, oh, yeah, it's going out of bounds. Then a deliberate header out of bounds by the defense.
Ridgeline moving down the near touch line. Have to work quickly. Under 12 to go. They trail 2-0.
They have the firepower to get at least one here.
Vasquez back to Howder.
Of course, the way the Skyview defense has been going.
Long shot. Off on the near post.
I think that might have hit the support, the bottom supports on its way out. May not have been on target.
Yeah, just behind the post, those, the extra pipe to keep it up, like you're saying. Goal kick here for Skyview.
Ridgeline's had a lot of those shots that just miss wide. They're taking the shots that I normally take in FIFA. The kind of little turnaround, try and put a shot on frame and beat the goalkeeper. They're high skill shots. They got skilled players, but they aren't reliable shots.
Here's the counter now. Ben Taylor for Skyview. Fighting with Howder. A nice tug and a clear away by Ridgeline as the space developed, but it's not out of danger. Running again. Here's Hayden. Poked away by Ridgeline and cleared by Flaggear.
Skyview kind of outnumbered there, but they were in on pretty much every little 50-50 ball, contesting it well.
Well, all their subs have been pretty much in the midfield or the attacking wing, and so that's where all the energy is for Skyview.
And so they're doing a very good job this second half where they struggled in the midfield in the first half. In this half, they've been very strong there. Even if they're not constantly possessing, the places where it matters, they've been strong.
That one sent way up high. Flaggear takes it out of the air, but we had a whistle and a foul. I think it is going against Ridgeline. Workman, or excuse me, I believe that's Workman, kind of took down Hayden.
Yeah, a bit of a push there, and of course, I think the Skyview player then might have pulled down Workman. Bit of a retaliatory thing there.
Up in the air.
Oh, he thought about a bicycle kick for like half a second.
Didn't have the leverage. It wasn't high enough.
No.
Not out of the danger. Hayden's there, but got past him. Hickman up to Vasquez. The through ball towards Leon. It got knocked off of someone's back down.
That just went off the backside of the defender. He wasn't looking for it, but he did his job on accident.
Robinson loses that one out right in front of his bench, and a Ridgeline throw quickly taken.
9.5 minutes to go here. Time's quickly running out, or I guess it's running out at its normal pace.
Hickman.
Had a good opportunity there. He's protesting, saying he probably got tugged or something. He's taking out his frustrations on the official there.
Credit Horman with another save. In the right positioning, I mean, that, you know, like a lot of this has just been really great positioning from Horman. He has cut off angles really well in this match.
Yeah, it's an incredibly underrated aspect of goalkeeping. It's just being in the right place.
Under 9 minutes to play now. 2-0. Skyview still on top of Ridgeline with 1 goal in each half. Vasquez gets past 2 Bobcats. Has space in front of him now. Taylor tracking him down. Vasquez turns. Crosses it to the middle. And we'll get past both players there.
And somebody pulled a muscle trying to stretch for that.
Oh, Vasquez!
I had to have taken a deflection off somebody.
Yeah, I believe
they're calling
so.
that, and they're going to...
Yeah, that looks like a
Skyview
bad cramp or a strain there.
Yeah, the ball was going through, and he stretched out there trying to get the ball, and then he stayed down. Is like, that hurt. Thankfully, it just looks like he's just trying to stretch out a muscle there. So
those are some of the worst ones in the moment. It hurts.
Yeah, they hurt like the devil. And so you stay down there and you immediately try, okay, let's stretch this out. I hope that'll help. I don't know if it does help. Kind of feels like it does, though.
You got to do something, right?
Yeah, you can't just sit there and take it. Like you eat a Charlie horse, just like feel it coming, then it's like, oh no. So yeah, 8 minutes, 16 seconds to go here in the game.
And you can't complain about any time wasting here. He's obviously injured and the clock is stopped.
Yeah, it's like that's why high school soccer can be a little bit more pure because there's not as much flopping. And obviously the injury aspects, you know, people aren't faking injuries because there's no benefit.
Yeah, it looks like that right leg being favored a little bit as he's helped off. It's Yasmani Reyes.
And
so hopefully just a little bit of a strain, nothing too bad because he's been a great player in this match, has that first goal for Skyview.
He has what may very well end up being credited as a game-winning goal.
And Chris Boto back into the match here. Has a yellow card, so he'll have to be a little cautious in the last 8 minutes here.
Yeah, they were probably hoping to sit him the rest of the way just to avoid getting another yellow. But as long as he doesn't commit a sliding tackle from behind, I think he'll be fine. So here we go. We're going to get the corner started in just a moment here. They'll start the clock once he hits the ball.
I'll wait for the sub first.
Yeah, now they're subbing again. This would be normal time wasting, but again, the clock is not running.
Well, he was waiting for that wave from the official who waited just a minute there before he did. And now here we go. The corner for Ridgeline from the near sideline. Up in the air, punched away. And still in the box, though, and jumping on it. The Skyview keeper.
Yeah, Horman came off his line, and he didn't clear it far enough away, and so suddenly, maybe the first mistake of the match from him, doesn't get burned by because he manages to smother it anyway, but off his line, then caught off his line. There was an open goal there while the ball was bouncing around the inside the box.
Well, both times Horman hasn't been able to corral it like that. He's followed it really well and been the one to bounce onto it.
Yeah, he tracked it down well, but you know, like I said, the first maybe minor mistake from a man who has had a very good match so far.
Skyview throw just past midfield into Bodo. Dropped back and taken away by Ridgeline. The Riverhawks with a misstep there as Taylor has it. The through ball up to Kyle, and he will get beat by Flygare, but he can't keep it in bounds. A Skyview throwing coming Kyle Robinson.
Yeah,
on the attack.
Robinson about an inch away from corralling that ball and then maybe directing a touch back to goal and then having maybe an open left-footed shot into goal, but good one-on-one defense there from Ridgeline.
Robinson throws into Bodo. He'll cross it. Robinson on frame! Tipped over the bar.
Man, and that tip still hit the crossbar. That was a nightmarish shot there from Robinson. Just a great shot in there. Forced the keeper to make a very delicate save there with the right hand, just pawing it behind him to go over the bar, and what would have been the absolute nail in the coffin goal had it gone in.
Diego Useche on the save. And the Skyview corner in the air. Bouncing around, still in the box. Bodo got one going towards the goal, but 3 Riverhawks in front of it, and they cleared it out. But it's bounced all the way back up into the box, and another clear from the Ridgeline.
Bodo tried a very difficult skill check there, and he missed it, although he almost benefited him anyway.
Here's Hickman on the counter. And that one booted way out of here.
Boosted into the parking lot.
Yeah, past the Ridgeline bus.
That's time wasting, which they didn't stop the clock, which the ref probably should for that kind of thing. That is deliberate.
There's the throw-in. Godfrey trying to turn it around. It's taken away by Skyview, and a deep boot. Can they get it past Finley? They can, so it'll take some time as Finley has to drop back for the throw-in. And he'll take it all the way back to Asechi, the keeper, and, Ridgeline running out of time here to drop it back like that.
5.5 minutes to go. Need 2 goals. You haven't scored 1 in the first 75 minutes of the game.
Here's Flygare. Taylor there to deflect the ball. Vasquez has it. Guarded by Taylor. Gets a window past him and sends the deep ball towards Hickman. Chasing it down is Skyview. And
couldn't quite do
Hickman
it.
Kept it in. Trying to get the cross in. Past one Riverhawk, but there's Godfrey. Now Vasquez on target. Saved! Horman with probably his most impressive save of this match.
Yeah, absolutely impressive positioning and reflections. That ball was a heater.
And Ben Taylor is down for the Skyhawks. Or excuse me, for the
Riverhawks.
Bobcats.
Bobcats.
I think I get confused because where I grew up, this baby blue team was Salem Hills, and they're the Skyhawks. My apologies there. The Bobcats up 2-0. We apologize for our game cam there, but some quick thinking there from our cameraman saves it.
That was a good catch.
Yeah. Taylor cramping, it looks like, a similar issue to Reyes's.
Since that's what you tugged on. I think it's still good.
Taylor able to walk off on his own power, but definitely favoring that left leg, it looks like. It's going to be 4:42 left in this one. On the corner from the far post.
Ooh, just a little, because I was a little taller, he could have maybe headed that one in, had an open header at the back side.
The cross on frame, but Horman's there and not enough on it.
Yeah, that'll count as one of his easier saves.
Johnson with the shot on frame. Ryan Johnson. That one's punted past midfield. Flygare got it out of air. Finley will play it back to Flygare. In the middle of the field, tries the through ball, but deflected. And Cameron Jackson there for Skyview. But right back to Ridgeline.
And we're entering the part where there's almost not enough time to realistically get, it's obviously always theoretically possible, but
I seem to remember a Mountain Crest girls goal that happened in about a minute.
I was at that game. That was
the state championship, wasn't it?
Well, they did get a couple goals really quick. There was actually a game, Skyview against Snow Canyon girls. They were up like 2-0 with about 8 minutes to go. And they ended up losing the game in regulation, I think.
Here's a foul, and Ridgeline with a great opportunity here. They'll take the free kick. It's a low line drive. Bounces off of Horman. Still alive in the box. Cleared away by Bodo. A big clearance from Bodo, and Horman was shaken up. He
took
had some contact there.
He took the worst of that. He's crouching down. You take 20 shots off the chest, it begins to wear on you a little bit. So there's a point where you get warmed up as a keeper, and then there's a point where you get banged up as a keeper.
Horman grabs that ball out of the air and throws it up to Robinson. Robinson launching the counter. It's 3-on-4 for Skyview if they can find an opening.
If Bodo, I think, had been on the same page as Robinson, that would have been a very good through ball, but I think he wasn't expecting Robinson to try that.
And that's an easy foul call as
Yeah.
Vasquez is leveled.
They're going to give him a card.
Ezra Haas.
Yeah, he just brought him to the ground. That's the kind of, it's the deliberate aspect that gets you. Normally, if you end up accidentally tangling up and going to the ground, it doesn't get you anything, but he grabbed and held on.
Tyler Markworth will come in for the yellow-carded Bobcat.
So 2 yellow cards there for the Bobcats, but they're looking like they're going to come away with the win because they got the 2 goals.
And Usechi has come up to midfield to take this free kick.
He still plays it short, though. But got the numbers up.
Lobs it into the box. Skyview is there, though. And now it's dropped back again to the back line of Ridgeline.
And Skyview just parking the bus here, and smartly so, just getting all their players back.
Vasquez trying to get past 2 Bobcats. He does to Leon. Leon fires, maybe more of a cross instead, but Bobcats there nonetheless.
Just for as many numbers as Ridgeline was throwing up there were way too many black shirts around that ball, that cross. What would have been a great opportunity normally, that angle of cross. There's nobody there for Ridgeline.
Jackson will clear that away, and Bodo maybe has an opportunity here as he plays it up to himself. Taken right back. He wants a handball, I think. And now body's hitting the floor here. Finley will have to play it back to Usechi.
Only $1:40 to go here in this game. And this is absolute panic desperation mode, and you're only about 50 seconds away from this game is over mode.
That one will roll all the way back, and Horman will boot it deep past both fences again.
His coach was yelling at him to pick it up. At least somebody from the crowd or coaching or the bench was yelling for him to pick it up.
I wonder if there was maybe just the fact, maybe that got deflected by my teammate. I can't afford an indirect free kick at all.
Yeah.
And that's dropped back to Finley.
You got to basically get a goal right here.
Over to Flygare on the near sideline. Needs to get a cross or a shot off. The cross is there. The shot cannot get off. It's taken away by Skyview and cleared upfield. 45 seconds to go now.
Now basically,
Robinson, Bodo just got under it. Robinson almost had a free goal there, or at least a one-on-one opportunity.
He would have had a 40-yard run pretty much all by himself. And almost a very rare application of the fact that you can't be offside when you're on your own side of the half. Because he was behind all of the Ridgeline defense.
A Ridgeline throw coming. 20 seconds to go, though. And the throw-in goes out for a goal kick. So
that's pretty much going to do it.
He can take his time to set up the goal kick.
Nope. He might kick it just to, well, no, he's not even going to kick it. He's going to throw it.
I'll leave it
Maybe
for
the
a
defender.
teammate.
Just for appearances. Taking 20 seconds on a, yep,
5
there it
seconds as it's booted downfield. And that will do it. Skyview picks up their first win of Region 11 play on a 2-game win streak now, as they win 2-0 over Ridgeline, last year's Region 11 champions. So you got to feel good about protecting your home turf.
Yeah, certainly a really good win for Skyview early in region play, advancing to 4-1 on the season. Absolute, I don't want to call it a defensive masterclass. I'll call it a goalkeeping masterclass. We'll call it that. Certainly a good job by Horman. Probably, I'd have to say, the man of the match.
Yeah, definitely.
Of this one. A lot of good saves, a couple of great saves. Just overall did a really good job there for the Bobcats. And in the second half, the Skyview defense was even better. I think Ridgeline had, still a decent number of shots on goal, but like 2 of them were decent. And so the Skyview just did a lot better in that second half, clamping down on Ridgeline, preserving its lead, and extending it. Basically the perfect second half from Skyview.
Really well done. And, right behind Horman and man of the match runnings, I would say, was Yasmani Reyes, who got that game-winning goal, as it turned out to be in the first half. A really nice match for Skyview, and they will pick up their first region win of the season, improving to 4-1 on a 2-game win streak now. Ridgeline will fall to 3-3, 1-1 in Region 11 play, and that snaps their 2-game winning streak.
Yeah, so we'll see. I'm sure these two teams will put together a really good match next time when they face on Ridgeline's turf. And who knows, maybe these two teams will be the top 2 teams in the standings then. Could set up a really nice late region matchup and maybe have pretty big implications for region title. But those are only the mysteries that time can tell since we're this early in the season.
Well, anything else to add here, Jason?
That's all I got.
All right, once again, your final score from Smithfield. Skyview defeats Ridgeline 2-0 in the Bobcats' first Region 11 match of the season. It's going to feel good as they head home tonight in this freezing weather.
Yeah.
For Jason Walker, I'm Jake Ellis. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great night.
This Skyview Bobcats broadcast has been a presentation of 106.9 FM and 1390 AM The Fan and CashValleyDaily.com. Made possible by the support from Adams Wealth Advisors, Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, Logo Shop, Advanced Heating and Air Conditioning, Napa Auto Parts, Old Grist Mill, Cache Valley Auto Care, Les Olson Company, ARS, DD Auto Salvage, New Horizons Beauty College, Preston Watts Collision and Glass, State Farm Agent Lana Powell, Poblanos, and CashValleyDaily.com. Catch the replay of tonight's game on CashValleyDaily.com.